Billionaire's shocking request for financial advice from Waitress reveals an incredible life lesson. Emily wiped the counter clean, the familiar scent of grease and coffee wafting through the air. Her mind drifted momentarily to impossible dreams, visions of a life beyond the clatter of Mel's diner and the monotony of well-worn routines. She suppressed a sigh, the weight of her responsibilities pressed down on her. Then, a figure entered. The rain-soaked baseball cap and scruffy jacket did little to hide his presence. He ordered a cup of black coffee and a slice of pie, and as Emily set the steaming cup before him, his piercing blue eyes locked onto hers. "What do you think it takes to be successful?" he asked, the casualness of his voice misleading. She hesitated, taken aback by such a profound question in this humble diner. "A lot of hard work and maybe a bit of luck," she replied, her heart racing as the eyes of this stranger felt like they were peeling back her layers. "But you also have to know who you are, what you stand for." Emily could see he was analyzing her, as if searching for something among the smudged ketchup bottles and sticky menus. "What's the definition of happiness for you?" His inquiry tucked her deeper into self-questioning. She opened her mouth to respond but felt the words slip through her fingers, uncertain, fleeting. As they talked, she found herself sharing stories of her tired, single mother battling illness and the college aspirations of her younger brother, a dream that seemed barely attainable. With each revelation, a connection sparkled between Emily and the stranger, forming an invisible thread that tugged at both their fates. But as he revealed a hint of who he truly was, Jack Thompson, tech mogul in the throes of a corporate disaster, her heart sank. She was a waitress. What did he want from her? "I want your perspective," he said, his voice earnest, and with that, the gravity of the moment settled over her like a heavy fog. "Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let us continue." The request rattled inside her. Advice from a waitress? Her instinct screamed at her to retreat. What authority did she possess in a world filled with suits and boardrooms? She was merely a cog in the machine. And yet she sensed a flickering potential within her, a chance to step into the light. But the turbulence of decision tormented her. What if she failed? What if her insights were inept, showing her insecurities not just to him, but to the world? The self-doubt clawed at her heart, paralyzing her thoughts. Then it came. Jack divulged the injustice of his father's uncredited ideas that built the foundation of their family empire. The betrayal warped her understanding of success, and her fingers trembled as she processed that merit and inheritance were often tangled like ivy. With the specter of corporate sabotage looming, her heart raced. Could she be the catalyst for change, both for Jack's company and her family? And more importantly, could she ignore the voices of doubt that threatened to drown her resolve in fear? The clock ticked louder with every heartbeat, the pressing moment of truth drawing nearer. As the burden of her choices twisted tightly around her, she stared into Jack's piercing eyes, and the question echoed deep within her: would she finally claim the courage to trust herself? Emily took a deep breath, steeling herself against the storm of uncertainty swirling within. Jack's request hung in the air like an unsolved riddle, begging her to launch into the unknown. She couldn't ignore the flicker of possibility igniting within her. This wasn't just a fleeting interaction at the diner, it was a chance to step beyond her current life, to grasp something larger than herself. "What do you want to know?" she finally asked, her voice betraying neither confidence nor hesitation. She was taken aback by her own willingness to confront the unknown, yet there was an underlying thrill that pulsed through her. Jack leaned forward, intrigued. "I want to understand how you perceive value. What do you think drives people to invest in something or someone beyond the numbers?" With each question, Emily felt the weight of her experiences collect into a coherent form, as if the myriad threads of her life were finally weaving into a tapestry. People respond to authenticity and passion. They want to believe in a cause, a vision. It's about connection, not just profit, she mused, her words flowing more freely now. That's insightful, Jack nodded. And when did you realize that? The quiet chime of the diner's register momentarily distracted her. I've watched my mom struggle her whole life, working multiple jobs just to keep us afloat. The words that followed felt like a revelation. But through her hard work and unwavering belief in a better future for my brother and me, she taught me that perseverance means something. That, ultimately, success isn't just monetary, it's about love and purpose. Each syllable fortified her resolve, crumbling the walls of self-doubt brick by brick. Jack's keen gaze encouraged her to dig deeper, and as she spoke of her family, her vision of the future sharpened. Do you believe you can take that passion, that authenticity, and channel it into something impactful? He asked, his tone serious yet inviting. Emily stared into his bright blue eyes and felt a pulse of her own ambition surge. I want to believe that I can, she confessed, grappling with the thought of stepping away from the familiar confines of her life. But the truth is I've been afraid. Fear can be paralyzing, he acknowledged. But it can also galvanize you toward growth if harnessed correctly. What if you were to take a leap? What if you carve out a path not just for yourself, but in that little corner of business you seem to understand intuitively? The notion of mentorship sparked within her. Could she? As she envisioned guiding someone, perhaps even Jack himself, it ignited a fire in her belly. I think she paused, measuring her words. If I could find my voice in this corporate chaos, I could help reshape perspectives. But how do I even begin? With newfound determination, Emily made a mental note to explore business courses, online resources, and networking opportunities. She saw that her input mattered, that her experience as a waitress provided an authentic perspective often overlooked. As if sensing her mind racing with possibilities, Jack leaned back, a satisfied grin breaking across his face. You're beginning to realize your potential, Emily. The next step is all about execution. Remember, it's the first leap that's most terrifying, but you'll find your wings on the way down. His words struck her like a clarion call, awakening a determination she had never fully embraced. She felt lighter yet more grounded, ready to seize whatever lay ahead. But lurking behind that sense of emerging strength was the nagging reminder of her current reality. What if attempting this leap meant risking everything? Would she be willing to relinquish the safety of familiar routines? Before she could address her internal conflict, Jack abruptly stood, leaving the remnants of pie and coffee lingering on the table plus a ripe tension filling the air. This isn't just a one-time meeting. I want us to brainstorm ideas together. I believe we can create something impactful. As he walked towards the door, Emily felt the essence of change swell within her. This was just the beginning, an invitation for her thoughts to blossom into actions. She wasn't merely a waitress anymore, she was becoming a force. Yet as exhilaration coursed through her, shadowy doubts began to creep back in. What if she couldn't live up to expectations? What if the stakes proved too high? The questions clawed at her mind as she watched Jack disappear from view. And with that, she stood on the threshold of possibility, a mixture of fear and exhilaration surging within her. Would she rise to meet the challenge he presented, or would her fears entrap her once again? The fork in the road loomed ahead, and the answer felt like a weight upon her shoulders, pushing her toward a decision she couldn't defer much longer. Emily sat frozen at the diner booth, her heart racing as Jack's last words echoed in her mind. Brainstorm. Impactful. Potential. The language felt foreign yet intoxicating. There was a crack forming in her armor of hesitance, allowing the light of ambition to seep in. She wanted to believe that she could double down on this unexpected opportunity. Yet, as the busy breakfast rush unfolded around her, a tension clenched in her chest. The familiar sounds of clinking silverware and bustling conversations faded into white noise. She had always been just Emily the waitress with dreams pinned down by routine. Now, Jack had shifted something within her. This wasn't merely about entrepreneurship, it was about carving a place for her voice in the world. Returning home that evening, she paused outside her front door, conflicted. Her mother's tired smile greeted her, a reminder of all the hard-working sacrifices that molded Emily's identity. "How was work, sweetie?" her mom asked, wiping her hands on her apron. "It was different," Emily replied, hesitating for a second. As she helped prepare dinner, her mind swirled with what Jack had said. How could she convey the conversation to her mother without exposing her evolving dreams? She was terrified of being met with skepticism, of that familiar edge of practicality that would ground her back in reality. But maybe her mom needed to see the latest version of Emily, someone eager to unlock her potential. After dinner, Emily pulled out her laptop to research business courses and mentorship programs. Her initial enthusiasm began to wane as every page filled with jargon and impossible expectations. Financial statements. Market analysis. Concepts that seemed designed for people who had been playing this game for far longer than she had. What if Jack's confidence translated into pressure? What if her authenticity crumbled under the weight of unrealistic expectations? Fearing she might fail, she closed her laptop, a wave of doubt crashing like a heavy tide. She longed to be educated, informed, and prepared, yet in this moment, all she could feel was the paralyzing fear of inadequacy. Days turned into a blurring cadence of work and introspection. Each shift at the diner, while physically routine, posed an internal battle. She would sometimes glimpse Jack entering the diner, his presence magnifying her uncertainty. With each interaction, she felt a push and pull between the eager person she aspired to be and the cautious, familiar waitress she had always known. One day, he slid into the booth again, gesturing for her to join him. "I want to hear your thoughts from last time," he prodded. His interest tugged at her resolve, forcing her to look into the abyss of her own expectations. She stammered, barely believing that she was about to reveal her struggle. "I want to take that leap you mentioned, but I feel overwhelmed. What if I can't measure up?" "Fear is only a signal," Jack replied, this time more gently. "It shows you what truly matters. Tackle it like a puzzle, find your pieces first. What drives you? What do you want from it all?" Emily considered his words. Part of her craved success, of being seen, recognized. But beneath that yearning lay a more profound need to help others understand the importance of their stories, the connections that could truly create value. Jack leaned closer, his voice steady, almost conspiratorial. "Are you willing to meet that fear with action? I can introduce you to some people, real professionals who can help refine those ideas you spoke about." The invitation hung in the air, like an unwrapping gift that beckoned her forward. Could she really walk the path he was suggesting? Was this the moment she finally confronted her trepidations, turning them into stepping stones? "I want to," she managed to say, but it felt like every word carried the weight of her identity, scrutinized under a magnifying glass. The tension was building, teetering on the edge of a decision that felt monumental. While the fears of failure loomed, a pulse of determination ignited in her core. Yet as she looked into Jack's eyes, she recognized the challenge laid before her. This was just the beginning, wasn't it? The chance for her voice to be amplified. But who would she have to become to succeed? Would stepping into that identity risk the very essence of Emily? The question lingered, waiting to be confronted as she stood on the cusp of something transformative. And that's when the phone rang, revealing a name she hadn't expected to see. It was Adam, her brother, but what could he possibly want? Emily stared at her phone, heart monitoring the dance of anticipation and dread. Adam's name flashed against the dim light of her screen, a beacon from the past tugging her into a narrative that shaped her formative years. Would he understand her newfound aspirations, or would he treat them just as another idealistic whim? "Hey, Em," his voice crackled through the receiver, casual yet weighted with something she couldn't place. "Hey, Adam. What's up?" she asked, masking the nervous flutter in her stomach. "I'm in town for a while, and I really want to talk," he said, his tone dropping an octave as if he were about to reveal a big secret. "Can you meet me tomorrow?" She felt her pulse quicken. Adam was rarely in town, and when he was, it usually brimmed with drama. "Sure, what is it about?" "A project." "I need your insight," he replied, the words slicing through her confusion. What could he possibly want from her? She was a waitress, after all, navigating her own uncertain path. The next day, as she met him at a quiet coffee shop away from the hustle of daily life, the stakes felt elevated. Adam leaned over the table, his fingers nervously tracing the rim of his mug. "So, here's the deal," he began, eyes serious. "I'm working on a new venture, and I need to get it off the ground quickly. I thought of you because I've heard you mention some ideas." Her mind raced, memories of late-night conversations and shared ambitions swirling within. "What do you mean?" she asked, half in disbelief and half intrigued. "What do you need from me?" "I want your perspective. You know how people connect, how they value stories, empathy and authenticity. I'm trying to disrupt this market with something different, and I think you could help," he explained, eyes flickering with urgency. Stunned, Emily couldn't immediately respond. The shadow of doubt stirred in her mind. Was this just Adam's reach for help, or was there a genuine belief in her potential? As she sipped her coffee, sharp sense mixed with the weight of the question, could she contribute to something larger than herself? It felt like a leap, but one encouraged by someone she trusted deeply. "Why me?" she finally pressed, fighting against her disbelief. "You could hire a team of professionals. Because they won't have what you do," he confessed, sincerity shining through. "You've always been able to see what matters, and I need that on my side. Plus, you can think outside the box. You've seen the world differently, and it's what this needs." Her pulse surged with a mix of fear and determination, the same sensation she felt during her conversations with Jack. Two different men, both igniting a flame of ambition she didn't know she possessed. "I'm flattered," but she hesitated, the practical side of her rearing its head. "What if I fail? I'm just a waitress." "But you're more than that, Emily. You know that, right?" he implored, voice steady. "This is your chance to step beyond what is comfortable. Embrace the fear. Partner with me, and let us shape this together." His words resonated like a call to arms, but as excitement swirled, a different conflict emerged. Could she forge a partnership with her brother while continuing to explore her own identity? Would their familial bond strengthen or strain under the pressure of expectations and creativity? Determined yet unsettled, she knew that accepting Adam's request would mean committing to a shared vision and potentially jeopardizing the fragile stride she had just begun to take with Jack. "Okay. I'm in," she said finally, her voice barely audible over the cafe's bustling noise. With those 3 words, she had crossed a threshold. A new endeavor awaited, but a shadow lurked, a question of how her relationships and identity would evolve in this new landscape. As they discussed ideas and possibilities, Emily felt an unfamiliar strength blooming. But alongside that confidence simmered an acute awareness. Accepting Adam's challenge meant diving deeper into a world of substantial risks. In the quiet moments that followed, the gravity of her decision settled around her, embedding itself in her gut. Who would she become in this pursuit of growth? And what would it cost her in the end? Just as the conversations began to weave into a tapestry of ambition, her phone buzzed again. It was Jack requesting a meeting to discuss potential connections. Like another crossroad was poised to emerge. The tension of decisions doubled as Emily stood again on a precipice, asking herself what path she must walk now. Emily's phone continued to buzz beside her on the table as she and Adam dove deeper into their conversation. She could feel a wave of intimidation washing over her, threatening to knock the wind from her sails. Sharing ideas felt exhilarating yet terrifying. She was scaling heights she had never dared to imagine before. "So, what is your perspective on audience engagement?" Adam asked, pulling her back into the discussion. There was an intensity in his eyes, an urge for her input she hadn't anticipated. He believed in her perhaps more than she believed in herself. "I think, people are craving authenticity, especially after everything that has happened in the world," she replied, feeling her way through the fog of uncertainty enveloping her mind. "They want something genuine, not just marketing buzzwords. They want to feel connected." The words flowed from her, emboldened by the urgency in Adam's demeanor. "Exactly. That's what will set us apart," he exclaimed, energy bubbling off him like the coffee heating the mug in hand. "We need to create narratives that resonate on a personal level, not just transactions. I need you to help me craft those stories. For real." A spark ignited within, although doubt still lingered at the edges of her consciousness. She was still a waitress, a role that had defined her for as long as she could remember. Each time she took an order, the same thought echoed, "This isn't enough." But as a partner in a venture like this, what did it mean for her identity? Would she lose the essence of who she was, or could she evolve without discarding the past? The ambience of the cafe faded away as the excitement of ideas took hold. They exchanged thoughts on conceptual strategies and target demographics, and for a moment, Emily felt as if she was painting bright strokes upon a white canvas. The fear hidden beneath the surface lurked, but she pushed it away, carving out a niche of confidence she hadn't known existed. "Okay, let us say we go all in. What do we do next?" she asked, surprising even herself with her assertiveness. "Next, we need a brainstorming session to flesh out ideas, and then we can ramp up to pitching potential investors," Adam replied, tapping frantically on his phone to take notes. "We can use your connections at the events you serve. You know the players out there." At that moment, Emily faced her own reflections like shadows in a funhouse mirror. Those events typically felt mundane, but now they brimmed with untapped potential. Could her experiences behind the bar provide insights not just for cocktails but for storytelling? Resurrecting old connections, presenting fresh narratives, it was a thrilling thought. But it also rattled the cage she had been constructing around herself. Then a contrasting thought struck her. Jack's name flashed in her mind, a reminder of the churning sea she was about to sail into. Did their budding relationship support her new venture, or was he an anchor that would hold her back? There was tension in that thought, a gnawing question of loyalty. Was it selfish to pursue this path, while potentially complicating her ties with him? Speaking of connections, Adam interjected, and she had to shake off her spiraling thoughts. "What is the scoop with Jack? I mean, he seems like a smart guy. Should we loop him in?" Emily stiffened, the weight of her decision beginning to settle heavily. I need to meet with him first. There's a lot we need to discuss." She lowered her gaze, grappling with the impending tectonic shifts in her world. Could she balance her intertwined relationships without fracturing them? Leaving the cafe, her mind hummed with the pulse of ideas, yet her core remained unsettled. The deeper she dove into this venture with Adam, the more questions piled up, and with them, the realization also dawned: she was not just creating a project but rewriting her life script. As she stepped out into the brisk evening air, Emily felt the first beads of clarity forming, but they were quickly followed by uncertainty. What awaited her after her meeting with Jack? Was there room for both personal and professional growth, or would one path eclipse the other entirely? With each step towards her next meeting, a nervous thrill thrummed in her chest. The stakes were rising, and the time had come for her to confront the fear residing within, not just the fear of failure but the deeper fear of finding success and all that it entailed. In the escalating whirlwind of her thoughts, she took a breath. Something was about to change, but she could not yet grasp what that change would be. As she turned the corner towards Jack's apartment, her heart raced with the anticipation of confrontation and discovery. Would he see her ambition as a threat or a gift? The moment of truth loomed just ahead. As Emily approached Jack's apartment, she felt the sidewalk slip away under her resolve. Each step reverberated with a mix of excitement and dread, nerves knotting in her stomach. Her thoughts danced between the exhilarating prospects of her new venture and the fear that Jack might not understand her transformation. What if he saw her aspirations as a betrayal to the life they were slowly building together? She grappled with that duality: heavy ambition and tender attachment. The door creaked open before she could knock. Jack stood there, handsome as ever, a slight furrow etched on his brow. "Emily," he breathed, as if startled by her presence. Just seeing him made her heart flutter, but that flutter was quickly replaced by an iron weight pressing down on her shoulders. "Hey," she managed, stepping inside, the familiar warmth of his apartment enveloping her. She lingered for a moment, absorbing the comforting details: a well-tread couch adorned with throw pillows and an open window letting in the scent of blooming jasmine. And yet, this comfort felt like a chain, one she wasn't sure she could chain herself to anymore. "Is everything okay?" he asked, concern painting his features. "You seem off." She stepped further into the room, uncertainty swirling. "I've been thinking a lot." A silence stretched, filling the space between them. It was now or never. "I want to talk about us, about what I want, what I need." Jack's gaze intensified. "What do you mean? You know I'm here for you, right?" "I know," she said, hesitating. "But things are changing. I have this opportunity with Adam. We're looking to create something impactful, something more than just a paycheck." "Impactful?" he repeated slowly. "You mean like social media or marketing stuff?" Emily shook her head, frustration lacing her voice. "It's more than that. I want to tell stories that matter. I want to connect with people in meaningful ways. I don't want to just be another face behind the bar." "I get that," he replied, his brow furrowing deeper. "But do you really think you can pull this off? You think you're ready for that?" There it was. The familiar wave of doubt pushed at her like an incoming tide. "I am ready," she said, voice steadier than she felt. "I have ideas, and I feel this spark that I can't ignore. It's like I'm finally waking up." His eyes narrowed, weighing her conviction. "And what if it doesn't work? What if you fail?" "Then I fail," she countered, her frustration igniting into determination. "But what terrifies me more is the thought of not trying at all. I've been afraid for so long, Jack. I don't want to keep holding back." He stepped back slightly, the realization settling in. "What does this mean for us? Are you saying you want to pursue this without you?" She interjected, feeling a lump form in her throat. "No. It's not that simple. But can you understand that I need to grow? That I can't remain static?" Silence fell between them again, heavy and uncertain. Jack turned away, pacing the small living room, and as she watched him digest her words, a bubbling tension welled inside her. Could they navigate this rift together? The very foundation she had relied on seemed poised to crumble underfoot. "Look, I don't want to pull you back," he finally admitted, his voice strained. "But this is a lot. It feels like you're becoming someone else." "Maybe I am," Emily shot back, emboldened by desperation. "But I'm still me. I just want to be an evolved version of myself, not defined by my past." He finally met her gaze, and in his eyes, she saw a flicker of understanding, yet doubt lingered like a shadow. "So, where does that leave us?" The same question ricocheted in her mind. Was Jack truly ready to accept this change? Would her ambition spurn him away, or could he stand beside her as she forged a new path? She held her breath, the weight of the moment pressing down harder than ever. This meeting could either fracture their connection or strengthen it in ways she hadn't imagined. As she opened her mouth to answer, the sound of her phone vibrating on the table broke the tense moment, a sharp reminder of the outside world continuing to spin wildly. She glanced at the screen, Adam's name flashing against the backdrop of this pivotal confrontation. It was a sign. Could she truly begin to carve out her new life while holding on to pieces of the old? Standing at the brink, Emily felt the undertow of uncertainty tugging at her again, whispering fears amidst the growing anticipation. With Jack's expectant gaze still upon her, she took a deep breath and steadied herself for the response that would change everything. What would she say? The reality of her ambitions hung in the balance, teetering between fear and hope. Would she choose her own dream, or allow the past to anchor her down? Emily could feel the stares of her own aspirations and fears colliding within her. The small table in Jack's apartment now felt like a judge's bench, its surface reflecting years of decisions made and deferred. Her phone screen continued to flash, holding the promise of a new beginning or perhaps another complication. She exhaled, words of desperation and clarity battling for supremacy in her mind. "I'm not sure how to say this without sounding selfish," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "But I want to grow. I need to step into my own, and I believe this opportunity with Adam could be a catalyst for that." "Selfish?" Jack echoed, eyebrows raised. "Emily, pursuing what you want isn't selfish. It's courage. But it affects us." His tone hovered between support and hesitance, a delicate balance that both comforted and unsettled her. She nodded, feeling a pang of guilt at the thought of leaving him behind, yet a stronger, unyielding voice reminded her of her dreams. "What if we can grow together instead? I need you to be my partner in this, but I can't hold on to what we had if it's holding me back." Jack ran a hand through his hair, a gesture she found both familiar and painful. "I want to support you, but it's like you're stepping into something I don't understand. You're talking about a completely different path." "The path isn't different from who I am deep down," she insisted, frustration bubbling just below the surface. She took a step forward. "Think about it. When did you last see me light up about something? When was the last time I felt truly alive?" That question hung in the air, resonating with both regret and hope. Jack looked away for a moment, wrestling with her challenge. Did he truly want her to remain unfulfilled? The silence felt incredibly thick, heavy with the unspoken stakes. "Maybe you're right," Jack began tentatively, "but there's this fear, what if things change? What if I lose you to this new world?" The vulnerability in his voice made her heart ache. "I need to face my fear of failure," she replied softly, reaching out and touching his arm. "That's the crux of this. Imagine if I don't try and wake up one morning regretting the what ifs. We'll never know if we can adapt together unless I take this leap. I'm not leaving you behind. I want to bring you with me." "Then let us give it a shot," he finally said, his voice steadied with tentative resolve. "But you need to commit. If you dive in, you gotta show me what that world looks like. You have to bring me along." Her heart swelled as his words began to alleviate the tension hanging in the air. "I promise. I'll draw you in. But it has to be a two-way street. We can't become strangers to each other in the process." Jack leaned back, contemplating her words. "And what about Adam? This opportunity, what if it leads to bigger changes? They might want more from you than just stories." A chill ran down her spine, but she brushed it aside. "Then I'll be ready. I can manage." With each syllable, she felt the fire of uncertainty tempered by determination. This was not just a decision to pursue her goals, it was a commitment to becoming who she truly was. Jack's gaze returned to her, confidence rekindling there, though questions still flickered in his eyes. "Just know I want you happy, Emily. You deserve to feel fulfilled, whatever that means." As they began to navigate their conversation towards a plan, a new energy began emanating between them. With each shared idea, Emily envisioned not just her ambitions, but how Jack could be an integral part. The fusion of their worlds began to take shape. But that fiery determination burned brighter than the shadows of doubt. As her phone buzzed again, this time with a message, her heart quickened. What opportunities awaited her on the other side of this moment? She picked up the phone, scanning the message from Adam, "Let us strategize. Big ideas awaiting." A new chapter was thrillingly beckoning her, but now she had a fork in the road. Jack's acceptance felt like a lifeline, but the call of her future was insistent and loud. What would she decide? When push came to shove, The spark in her chest ignited into a wild flame, but would she wield it wisely, or risk burning everything down? The line between her past desires and future ambitions blurred as the weight of the decision cast a long shadow over her heart. Would she embrace the unknown, or retreat back to the comfort of familiarity? The moment the message from Adam illuminated her screen, a wave of adrenaline coursed through Emily. This was the moment she had been both yearning for and dreading. She could feel the crossroads she stood at pressing into her, its weight palpable in the tightness of her chest. Suddenly, it felt as if the stakes had escalated, moving from a personal decision to an adventure that could redefine everything. "Are you gonna respond?" Jack's voice brought her back to the present, his expression a mixture of curiosity and concern. "Right, yes." She took a deep breath, desperately trying to draft a reply that felt both professional and enthusiastic. "I'm in. Let us talk." Her fingers hesitated above the send button. Was she truly ready to commit to this journey? Or was she merely attempting to convince herself that she was? "Good. I think this could be your push," Jack said, a hint of admiration in his tone. "But don't forget what we just talked about. We're in this together." Emily smiled, though the weight of that commitment lingered heavily. She felt as if she were standing on the precipice of a great unknown. The potential for success loomed like a vast skyline ahead, but below her feet was the fear of freefall. As she executed her decision, she couldn't shake the thoughts running rampant in her mind. What if she wasn't cut out for this? Could she really hold her ground in the face of seasoned professionals? The incessant what-ifs formed a whirlwind of self-doubt that rattled her resolve. But then, a flicker of determination broke through the cloud of anxiety. She had never been one to shy away from a challenge, even if this was bigger than any challenge she had faced before. The recent conversation with Jack echoed in her mind. She was not just doing this for herself, she was doing it to grow, to transcend the limits she had unknowingly placed on herself. 2 hours later, she found herself sitting in the local cafe that Adam had suggested. The environment buzzed an eclectic mix of students studying, artists sketching, and busy professionals tapping furiously on their laptops. It felt like the heartbeat of potential and ambition, functioning unnoticed yet profoundly powerful. "Hey Emily." Adam greeted her as he entered, radiating an air of confident authority that only intensified her nerves. He wore a tailored blazer that contrasted with the casual nature of the cafe, startling her in its elegance. "Hi Adam," she replied, standing to greet him. They exchanged pleasantries before settling at a corner table with an air of shared purpose. Adam wasted no time diving into his vision. "I've been thinking about how your perspective could really add to this project I'm working on. I want to tap into more authentic experiences for my audience, and that's where you come in." Emily listened intently to his expansive plans, his passion infectious. As each idea spilled from Adam's mouth, she felt tension morph into excitement. Yet, beneath it lingered a voice reminding her of her uncertainty. "You really think I could contribute?" She ventured, testing the waters. "Absolutely. You have an insight that most will overlook. Your experiences working as a waitress, your interaction with people from different walks of life, it's invaluable. People want stories that resonate, and you can tell them," he said. His affirmation momentarily quelled her self-doubt, igniting a glimmer of belief she'd buried long ago. But the conversation shifted, and Adam's tone changed. "Of course, you'll need to be ready for the pressures that come with standing out. The general public can be unforgiving, and you must be prepared to defend your work." Emily felt a knot form in her stomach. Could she handle the scrutiny of a wider audience? The fear of not measuring up reared its ugly head again, causing her to flinch. For every spark of inspiration, doubt seemed to stoke the fire of her insecurities. "I appreciate your confidence in my abilities, Adam," she began tentatively, "but what happens if I fail?" Adam leaned back, studying her with a mix of curiosity and seriousness. "Emily, the question isn't about failing. It's about how you rise after, how you evolve." As he finished speaking, she saw not just opportunity, but a challenge to her identity. If she accepted this, it meant embracing vulnerability. She would have to confront the raw truth of who she was, and who she would become. The day unfolded with ideas synthesized, indecision sneaking up on her between moments of clarity. Eventually, they laid plans that felt ambitious yet achievable. By the time they parted ways, Emily's mind thrummed with possibilities. But now, as realization settled in, she felt a single question pierce through her excitement once more: was she truly ready to forge a new path, even if it meant wrestling her deepest fears along the way? As she left the cafe, trailing the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, Emily could feel anticipation swelling within her. The landscape of her future had changed, but at what cost? Should she really stake her claim in this unpredictable, exhilarating world, or had she already gone too far to turn back? The world ahead blinked with uncertainty, but the urgency of her decision pulled her forward, gripping her with undeniable momentum. Yet each bold step ushered a nagging realization of her own fragility. Would she be able to embrace the trials that awaited, or would her fears resurface, stronger than her determination? The horizon loomed large, but with it came the question: what consequences awaited her in chasing the fire ignited inside? Emily spent the following days vacillating between excitement and anxiety. The exhilaration from her meeting with Adam had propelled her into a whirlwind of late-night brainstorming sessions and frantic note-taking. Yet with every script she envisioned, each concept she sketched out, her old demons of doubt swirled closer, threatening to choke her ambition. Sitting at her desk, surrounded by scattered papers, Emily felt the weight of those fears pressing heavier. She bit her lip, her mind racing through scenarios of failure. What if she misunderstood Adam's expectations? What if her ideas flopped? She could almost hear the whispers of her insecurities echoing through the cluttered room, those same old voices that had stifled her dreams in the past. But amid this storm, a sliver of something transformative began to surge. She recalled Adam's words about evolution. Perhaps this was not just a pivotal moment, it could be the foundation of a new narrative. To craft an authentic story, she needed to step beyond her limitations and let her experiences flow, both the good and the burden of her fears. After days of wrestling in her mind, Emily decided to confront her burgeoning concerns head-on. Resolute, she picked up the phone and dialed Jack. "Can we meet? I need to talk about this project," she said when he answered. "Absolutely. Your energy seems intense. Let us meet at our usual place." His enthusiasm prompted a flicker of reassurance within her. A few hours later, the familiar cafe buzzed around them as she slid into a booth across from Jack. He leaned forward, intrigued. "So, what's on your mind?" "I think this project with Adam is an incredible opportunity. But as it gets closer, I'm feeling scared." "More than I thought I would," she admitted, her voice dropping. Jack nodded knowingly. "That's understandable. It's a big shift. I just can't shake the thought of how I'll be perceived. I mean, who am I to tell these stories?" The vulnerability in her words hung in the air, raw and palpable. "You're Emily," Jack responded firmly. "You have a distinctive viewpoint formed by your experiences. Those are assets, not liabilities. Don't forget that." His calmness pierced through her chaos, and with it came a sense of clarity. "But I have limited credentials, Jack. I've been a waitress, not an author or a storyteller by trade. What if my stories don't resonate? Or what if they do?" Jack countered, his eyes narrowing slightly. "What's the worst that could happen? Someone doesn't like your approach. Remember, criticism is a part of this journey. It doesn't diminish your worth or your insights." Jack's words lit something within her. If she narrowed her focus on the fear of others' judgments, she'd lose sight of the authenticity she aimed to convey. The memories of the people she served, the laughter, the heartbreak, the myriad human experiences flooded her thoughts. Those were the stories worth sharing, and they echoed in her heart. The conversation morphed into a brainstorm, their ideas blending until the atmosphere crackled with creativity. As Jack began to draw connections between her experiences and the potential narratives, Emily could feel her confidence rising like a phoenix from the ashes. She realized that her struggle was not a limitation but rather the crucible from which her voice would emerge. Later that evening, as she sat in her apartment, poised with notes and insights that Jack had helped her refine, she felt a weight lift. The fear hadn't vanished completely, but it had changed a reminder of her humanity instead of a foothold for self-doubt. She opened her laptop and began outlining her first draft, ignited by the realization that her journey mattered. Yet, with each thoughtful word she typed, a new anxiety coiled tighter within her. What if this exploration unveiled deeper truths about her past, things she hadn't yet confronted? The project was evolving into something more than just a professional challenge. It was a coming to terms with who she had been and who she wanted to become. As she breathed life into the words on the page, a thought crept in: were these stories truly hers to tell? She began to wrestle with the personal implications, a moral dilemma brewing within her. Would she exploit her own life's experiences for the sake of storytelling? Just as she was enveloped in thought, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Adam: looking forward to our next meeting. I'm eager to see what you've been working on. The excitement of potential now mingled with dread about exposing her innermost experiences to scrutiny. Would she be ready to face what emerged during this creative journey? As she stared at the screen, she felt a resurgence of trepidation. Resilience was calling her once again, but the cost of authentic storytelling lingered like an unanswered question, amplifying the unease. How much of herself was she willing to reveal in the pursuit of her passions? The journey ahead was nefarious, shrouding her in a tumultuous fog of anticipation and fear. Would she manage to embrace her evolving self, or would the darkness of her past ensnare her once more? Emily stood on the precipice of transformation, her heart racing with determination. The fear she had once allowed to paralyze her had shifted into a powerful catalyst for growth. As she delved deeper into her project with Adam, she began to realize her true potential, not just as a storyteller, but as an empowered individual ready to claim her space in a world that often seemed dauntingly large. The days following her conversations with Jack served as a pivotal turning point. She poured hours into her writing, weaving threads of her life into a tapestry that reflected both her struggles and triumphs. The voices that once echoed doubt were now drowned out by the profound sense of purpose guiding her. She discovered that her experiences as a waitress, filled with ordinary yet profound encounters, could inspire and resonate with others grappling with their journeys. She tightened her narrative around authenticity, drawing from the raw, unvarnished moments that colored her life. Each word became a revelation, a testament to the power of personal story. She became not just a waitress, but an architect of collective understanding, smashing through barriers with every sentence crafted. Then came the day of her first presentation with Adam to a group of potential investors. As she paced back and forth, rehearsing her speech in a small conference room, the weight of vulnerability coursed through her. This was her moment to shine, and although the nerves danced wildly in her stomach, she also sensed clarity rising from within. Standing in front of the small gathering, her voice was no longer trembling, it held strength rooted in her convictions. Stories connect us, she began, her tone resolute. They bridge gaps and create understanding. I want to harness this power to bring forth narratives that encapsulate the very core of human experiences. As she spoke, she saw nods of agreement among her listeners. Their faces reflected her own journey: curiosity, skepticism, but now admiration. In that moment, she realized the magnitude of her own journey. She had morphed from the girl who wiped tables at Mel's diner into a confident woman ready to become a conduit for change. After her presentation, feedback flowed, a mix of encouragement and constructive criticism, but each word fueled her fire more profoundly than she imagined. She had engaged a community, challenged their perceptions, and invited them to see value in authenticity. By the end, they expressed their interest, recognizing not just her potential as a newcomer, but the value of her authentic voice as a compelling narrative force. Buoyed by this success, she reeled with gratitude for Jack's support and Adam's faith in her abilities. It was more than validation for her talent, it was recognition of her growth and the strength of her newly found identity. The real achievement, however, lay in her own evolution. She had navigated the storms of self-doubt and emerged resolute. Emily understood that she could pursue her dreams without sacrificing her relationships, proving that ambition does not need to forsake support. She had effectively merged her past with her aspirations, crafting a path that resonated with her core values. No longer just a waitress, she had become a storyteller, an advocate for connection, and a beacon of authenticity. That evening, as she returned to Mel's diner for her shift, a sense of pride wrapped around her like a warm blanket. Every face she recognized transformed into a symbol of strength, a reminder of where she had come from. She no longer felt like an imposter in this world, she was a vital part of it, contributing through her unique lens. As customers drifted in and out, Emily took an extra moment to engage with each one, flipping their mundane interactions into meaningful conversations. She embraced the poignant stories that unfolded at her tables, breathing life into her newfound role as both a waitress and an aspiring storyteller. In embracing her journey, embracing herself, Emily had finally stepped beyond the confines of fear and into the light of possibility. The girl who once questioned her own worth had transformed into a woman defined by her resilience, ready to claim a vibrant future shaped by her experiences and fueled by authenticity. And so, armed with her experiences and unyielding resolve, she stood poised to continue her new path, bold, capable, and on fire with ambition. It was not just a victory for Emily but a resolute empowerment, marking the beginning of an inspiring trajectory, the vibrant story of what happens when you finally step into your true self. Now is the time to join this journey of transformation. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive emotional stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support these empowering narratives. Comment your reactions and theories about the ending below. We want to hear from you. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see Emily's incredible story. Don't wait even one more second to share. Only true fans of personal overcoming stories understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.